What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yeah, I finally was able to create a list of guys who I would have wanted the Chargers to pick at that spot where they ended up picking in the draft. So, maybe that'll be attached to this, maybe not. I have to probably do a separate video because how big it is. So, yeah, wait for that. Let's see how that goes. But to get this other stuff out of the way real quick. So, USC football got a commitment from a 4-star wide receiver out of Texas named Quay Davis. So at least they're getting some talent from the state of Texas and stealing away from those schools. And he looks like a pretty talented player from his highlights, so I'm glad to have him. Then the NBA is postponing their draft lottery, which will be happening in another month or so. But just obvious since you can't select any of these players or look at them right now, because of the whole situation, and then plus you don't know the rankings of who's the league by records, who's the worst team. So it's kind of obvious that this is why it's happening. And same thing with the draft as well. I expect that to be postponed whenever and after that draft lottery. So we'll see how that situation goes. Hopefully there is still a season by that time. Then they're saying that the Chargers are going to be one of those teams that go from worst to first. I don't know if they mean in their division, just because I know Kansas City is most likely gonna win that division this year again. I just think if they don't lose to the lesser teams in that division, the Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders, I think they had a better shot last year, and they will this year as well. Because just the year prior, they had 12 or 13 wins, and then they go back all the way down to 6. So it's kind of Jekyll and Hyde here for the Chargers as usual. But I think they'll be able to bounce back against those lower teams in the division, and that's all you need is a win. Is win in your division, and you should be fine and be able to make it to the playoffs. But then some little bit of off the top like movie news that I like to do sometimes. So Disney is making a live action remake of Hercules. So it is going to be produced by the Russo brothers, who, recently directed like the Avengers movies for Marvel, and a lot of like Captain America's as well. So they're pretty good directors. But as far as producing wise, their movies probably have not been as great, but one connection has always been like a Marvel Cinematic Universe superhero, because they produced a couple years ago 21 Bridges that had Chadwick Boseman, who plays Black Panther in the MCU. And then their most recent movie that came out was Extraction, that's on Netflix, with Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor. So they think there's gonna be like the person who's gonna play Hercules is another ex-superhero, or is a superhero right now, like a Thor, or even the ex-Captain America, Chris Evans as well, or even Chris Pratt, who's freaking, Star-Lord. I don't see that happening, but I mean, there's a lot of good guys out there. You could go with like another Chris Pine, who was recently the main lead in Star Trek as well. But I think this younger kid, Bretton Thwaites, who's been in really good movies ever since I've been watching him. I mean, he was in that very popular book, The Giver. They made into a crappy movie, but he was still in that big one. He was in the most recent Pirates of the Caribbean, which was actually a lot better than the past couple ones that have come out. And then in this little sci-fi movie I really like called The Signal, he was in. It's a really good movie. So I think this guy could be a sleeper pick to be Hercules, and he has a lot of talent. Obviously has the looks, can bulk up as well if you need him. I just don't know if they're going to be singing in this movie. I know they aren't singing in the Mulan movie, which should be coming out at some point, and there's a lot of good singing and songs in there. So, and there's a lot better songs in my opinion in this Hercules movie. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it should be very interesting. He's definitely dark horse pick for myself. And then of course, you guys always hear me talk about him, Taika Waititi. He's a guy who I've pegged ever since I knew he was gonna be the director of the third Thor movie. I kind of went back and watched his movie history, because he only had really 3 popular movies before that, and I loved every single one of them. So I eventually loved the latest Thor movie, and then he just even knocked it out of the park, winning an Oscar for writing with that Jojo Rabbit that came out last year as well. And I already told even way before that he was a rising star, and good things were going to come to him. And luckily for him, he looks like he's going to be directing a new Star Wars movie in the near future, which is really awesome. And he's also going to be co-writing it too, which is very important because his sensibility is really good. And yeah, I just think him teaming up with that 1917 co-writer as well, it's going to be pretty awesome as far as script goes, and hopefully it'll be an even better movie as well. He even directed like 2 episodes on that newer Star Wars show on Disney Plus called The Mandalorian. He did 2 things on there, and then he's going to be in Suicide Squad 2 as a character, and working on Ryan Reynolds as a second lead in another movie about like some type of gaming thing. So yeah, he's definitely on the rise, and hopefully we'll be able to enjoy a better Star Wars movie than we have been recently. And just want to say congrats to him, and I told y'all so I would have won a lot of money if I bet in Vegas, but it's all good. I'm just happy for his success, and hopefully he can keep it going, make us all proud. And yeah, so thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day.